So what drew you to the character in Win-Win, to Mike?
Well, he's it was again, it was almost more the story right off in the first place was I liked this idea of some little moral corner cut and then all these reverberations that come off of it, most of which are positive, actually, and I liked the presentation of suburban life in it, that it's not commented on at all. He never comments on it, which is really hard to do. But the character was, it's funny, it was not, I've known Tom for a long time, and he came to me with it, and he said, I want to see you play a guy like this who's more like you actually are. I actually want to see you be more on this screen and not play these crazy guys. And the challenge that he set me with this character was actually the most compelling thing to me about it. Because I thought, I don't know if I can play this sort of relatively content guy, family man guy, who's relatively happy in his life. His only problem is money's tight. He's not crazy and neurotic and manipulative or belligerent and drunk and aggressive or a psycho of some kind. It was like, this is going to be, because I've gotten so used to doing that kind of thing, that the challenge of that was actually almost one of the most compelling things about it.
So speak about that challenge a little, and what did you do to prepare if it was it's a different kind of challenge for you?
I didn't really know what to do to prepare. I mean, it was interesting because the movie is sort of based on a guy that Tom knows. I mean, I'm familiar with the world of it. My mother is from sort of that New Jersey suburban background. I know it, but I had always, for whatever reasons, had kind of not been interested in, I'd always been like, I want to break out of my middle class background and be like, I don't want to play the bourgeois guy. So I mean, it was hard. I mean, I prepared in that, there was this guy I could talk to, Joe Taboni, who wrote the movie with Tom, and that was interesting because I didn't know anything about the kind of law he studied, and to actually sort of just be around a guy like that and absorb his life. Most of it was actually a kind of preparation to not pull the kinds of tricks that I've gotten used to. Was a kind of openness to Tom, actually. Was just going, I'm going to trust this guy to actually, I'm going to really need this dude to direct me because I know I'm going to fall into my old tricks. And so it was actually an openness to just letting this guy kick my ass and push me around.
So how did he direct you?
He was on me a lot, I mean, he was very, very in there making, constantly calling attention to the fact that I was taking the easy way out for me. I mean, he was tough, actually, which is funny. I've known him for 20 years. He's a really good friend of mine. And it was weird working with him. But, he's incredible. He was very open to playing around with the script and the dialogue and stuff like that. I don't know. He just was, he was on me in a really good way. And eventually I sort of relaxed and found what he was talking about. And then it was okay. I found this thread, and then I was okay. But he was hard on me. He was like, no, this is not who this guy is. Drop that shit. No, that's too much that way. That's too much that way. You got to you don't need to do that crap. You can cut all that fat out and just do. And I still felt, I constantly was sitting there going, but I'm not doing anything. Dude, I'm not doing anything. This is not interesting. I'm not doing anything. I'm not crazy. I'm not, and he was like, it's good. It's fine. You don't need to do anymore. And I still look at it and I go, I'm not doing anything. But I see it,
Well,
which
so
is a really adolescent, stupid attitude to have as an actor. But it was a good lesson to learn.
So that's interesting. So I wonder now, will you maybe look at different roles and script stories differently because of your experiences as Mike?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, sure. Yeah, probably will. I mean, I certainly, I feel good that I accomplished to some extent what he was interested in and what he was after. It's funny. It was like a task I set myself with this thing, which is a funny way to think about it. But yeah, maybe. It'll be interesting, yeah, to see what the hell is different.
What I loved about the movie was it's a serious movie, but the humor is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you keep
Oh,
it all
that's
together on
Tom's.
set.
Yeah, it was hard actually. We had a really good time, and Bobby's hilarious, you know, and a lot of the humor is just coming out of him because he's so hilarious, and he's a really good actor. We did have actually a hard time. I mean, that scene when he climbs on top of me outside when I have the panic attack and he's on top of me, we did have a very hard time filming that thing, and I couldn't stop laughing at him because he was really funny. But Tom, that's a great thing. The tone of it is really great. And Tom, it's very seductive, that humor that he uses in his movies. And I think this one, probably most of all of them, he really wanted to pull people in with that humor. And Tom's a very funny guy. And
Yeah.
again, he kept us on the right thing.